Cumbria police have allegedly received 125 complaints in the year up till April 2022, according to Home Office figures. However, only one is said to have been referred to the disciplinary process. The 125 complaints were against 77 Cumbria police officers, meaning that some obviously had more than one complaint made against them. That's just 0.8% of all Cumbria police complaints reaching misconduct proceedings, whilst in 88% of complaints no action was taken whatsoever. Of course, some complaints wouldn't warrant a misconduct procedure and some complaints would be frivolous, but I don't think I'm the only one who doesn't believe that 124 complaints were frivolous or not serious enough to warrant a misconduct hearing. 13 of the complaint allegations were against 6 police officers for what's called recordable conduct matters. This includes the death of the person or serious injuries, if it affects a member of the public in an unfavourable way, serious assault, corruption or sexual harassment, or any criminal offence that can lead to disciplinary actions and aggravated by any discriminatory behaviour and any other related violation, or misbehaviour was done by a chief police officer or the deputy commissioner of the Met. But the Home Office figures show that none of the 125 police officers have resigned or retired following allegations made against them. A Cumbria police spokesman said, "The constabulary takes all complaints it receives extremely seriously. The figures show the constabulary receives fewer complaints per head of the population than most other forces. Each complaint received goes through a rigorous process which involves examining, investigating, resolving and sweeping under the carpet." No, they didn't say that last bit. Examining, investigating and resolving complaints in a manner that is satisfactory for the complainant. Often this can include an early intervention with the complainant to understand more fully their complaint and how they would like to see it resolved, for instance through words of advice with the officer to ensure learning. The constabulary works hard to ensure the standards of officers are maintained to an extremely high level of professionalism and integrity. Where officers are found to have made a mistake, the constabulary ensures that not only does a single officer learn from that mistake, but that all officers are made aware of the issue, how that arose and how it should be handled, in order to minimise the possibility of other officers making a similar misjudgment in the future. We actively promote a culture of reflection, learning and improvement which is conducive with the national practice and guidance. The constabulary has also benefited from its adoption of body-worn video. The constabulary encourages the use of body-worn video as much as possible in any engagement with members of the public. This means that when complaints are submitted, they can often be swiftly proven or disproven due to the digital recordings available. Now that's a lot of word salad, but almost 1% reaching misconduct proceedings mirrors that of the rest of the UK, as we discussed in a recent report which I'll link to up here and in the description. The figures released follow a number of high-profile cases of police misconduct and criminality across the country, including Detective Nicholas Taylor, who sold his wife to strangers for sex, which is one of the lesser serious misconduct matters when you compare it against that of David Carrick and Wayne Couzens, with many more lesser or in-between seriousness, many of which are reported here on the channel. The Police Federation of England and Wales, which is well known for trying to cover up just how bad police can be in its failing attempts to defend the actions of its paid members, said that, "Be prepared for some more first-class word salading. Most officers come into the police service to protect the public and act with integrity and respect, and that a small minority of bad police shouldn't taint the reputation of the police service. The police service is very good at uncovering those that don't deserve to be in the job." Let me respond to that statement by saying you don't want the police to be tarred with the same brush, right? But it's okay for you, as in the police, to treat everybody like a piece of shit because you've come across some dickheads yourself. You do realise that's not quite how it works, don't you? We don't have professional standards to adhere to, you do. Maybe if the police was more transparent, rather than saying it will do things to be transparent, but in the next breath finding another reason not to be, then you might have some chance of slowly regaining some trust from the public. Maybe if you stopped enabling people to use you as their own personal security goons because they heard something they don't agree with, or because you feel that your job is to protect businesses against civil matters, then maybe you'll slowly start to regain some of that trust back. But how dare you suggest that the police reputation shouldn't be tainted over a small minority, when you do exactly the same to the general public who pay your fucking wages? Secondly, no. The police are not good at uncovering those that don't deserve to be in the job. Case in point, Wayne Couzens and David Carrick, along with many other vile, despicable pieces of crap I report on every single day. The fact that you have salespeople, and I'll call them salespeople, in your professional standards department to call complainants who have made complaints and say, and say what's needed to appease them in order for them to give up their complaint is another reason why nobody likes you. It is a clear act of covering for one's colleagues. Granted, in some cases, someone might make a complaint out of anger over something very minor. But for so many complaints to go undealt with is not a joke. Oh, yeah, and nobody believes that only 1% of 14,393 complaints made against police in the year up to March 2021, which I reported on previously, that 99% of those were frivolous or vexatious. So if you want to build trust, which I don't think you do, then sort your house out and start dealing with these issues before they become issues.